Tracey's back with me as we take a walk through the Lincoln Center. And one of the things that you'll see right when you come inside, we're right here in the hallway here in the main entrance, is this timeline, a very interesting timeline of history that all has to do with the Lincoln Center. And Tracy, this is something that you put together. So this
Right.
is something obviously that goes all the way back to the 1850s. There had to be a lot of research involved in getting this
There
done.
was a lot of research. It wasn't supposed to be this long. It kind of took on a life of its own. I ended up going down a rabbit hole and finding out a lot more than I thought I knew. So actually, it is a timeline on the importance of the Black community when it came to education here in the Quad Cities. Obviously, Lincoln Elementary was named after Abraham Lincoln, who freed the slaves. This school had the first Black principal, first Black teachers. So that was the thought process behind the timeline. But once you started going in and seeing some of the things that were happening, it was important that we feature it all. You will get people that when they come into the building, they're literally stuck here for about 15, 20 minutes while they read through the whole thing. For me, the most interesting thing is 1977, which is when the Davenport School District desegregated. I was 7 years old, so it wasn't that long ago, you know. So I think for me, it's always about education and engagement creates understanding. So if you get an opportunity to come here and read this timeline, you get a deeper understanding of why TMBC is important to the community.
Absolutely, yeah. And there's, I mean, going all the way back from the 1850s to, TMBC,
Right.
where it started. So, I mean, lots of different information here. And to mention that 1977, that's mind blowing.
Yes, it is.
All right, as we go down the hall, what else can we see here right when we come in?
So right here we have our business center. We wanted to create a space where if people needed to have access to a computer or access to Wi-Fi or needed something printed or needed to go online to apply for a job or for a program, that there were no barriers for that, that all they had to do was come here, come into the room and get that done. So that's what we have in this room. And then the room right ahead of us is our community boardroom. Once again, this is a space where if people need to have a board meeting or hold a class, all they need to do is let us know that they need that. It's available for everyone that's within the building, but it's also available for those that are in the community. We do rent this out to other organizations to use for their board meetings. And I'll tell you, this was a collaborative effort. If you take a look at this mural, this particular panel right here, it tells you everyone that was involved with this. This was a thing that was on a wish list for me. And I had a discussion and someone overheard it and they called me back and they're like, I think we can help with that. And so it was everything from the paint to the sinks to the furniture to the build outs that we were able to make this happen for the community.
And there are a whole host of different groups, organizations, small businesses housed in here as well, right?
Yes, we have approximately 15 different businesses, organizations, and nonprofits that operate Monday through Sunday in our building. We also hold events here, and we have a lot of programs here as well. So, really, this is a one stop shop for people who need resources or information. If I don't have it, I'm going to figure out where it's at.
Right in
You're
here.
right.
We're now inside a really special place here at the Lincoln Center, and that is the walking clinic. It's a rather new feature here at the Lincoln Center, but talk about its purpose.
It's our newest improvement here with the Lincoln Center, but the walk-in clinic is probably the most impactful one and the most important one that we have in the building. With research that was done, not only is this the highest concentration of Black residents in the city of Davenport, it's also highest with the incidence of heart disease, high blood pressure, low birth weight. And so we needed to be a resource for them. It is a walk-in clinic. It's not a health clinic. I didn't want to have to be responsible for medicines and needles, but the approach is testing for bigger blood pressure. High blood pressure is what tends to lead to everything else. So we figured if we can catch the high blood pressure, then maybe we can prevent some of those other things. So every Wednesday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., people can come in and get their blood pressure checked. If you come regularly and there is maybe a warning that every time you come in, your blood pressure is high, then resources are given to you to address that. But for me, more importantly than anything else, is starting to normalize being in control of your health. I am a person that has several health issues, and I'm an advocate for myself, but not everyone is empowered to do that. So if you are coming regularly and you understand what your numbers are and what that could potentially mean, you then can become an advocate for yourself and be in control of your health. At some point in time, we'd love to involve into COVID vaccines and flu shots and sports physicals and some of those other things that revolve around health. But more importantly, we want to be able to give you the knowledge that you need, provide resources that you need, and get you comfortable with being in charge of your health.
Who's working with you in terms of providing some of these services that you do at this
Right.
point?
So the funds for this were provided by the Better Health Foundation. They really believe in being intentional on targeting that community where the disparities lie because they're truly there. The numbers don't lie. And then we're working with CNAs on doing the blood pressure checks. Part two of this whole clinic is to start addressing the lack of nurses in the area and the lack of diversity within the hospital systems by identifying students of color who want to go into the healthcare field. So what we'll do as an organization is pay for them to get their CNA so that they can start their healthcare track, train them on community outreach, have them working here, and eventually work their way into becoming a nurse within the hospital systems here in the Quad Cities.